Good morning everyone, this is Vic and this is what I'm driving. Brand new beautiful 2500 AG Chevy Silverado. Yes, Duramax Allison transmission. By the way, it's rented from Enterprise. Don't go to Enterprise. If you go to Wave, they'll be able to negotiate price for you, the best price for you. If you're kind of guy that, like me, don't like the maintenance, Enterprise will come, replace a flat tire, do mobile diagnostic, replace a truck if something serious. So yeah, I pay money to rent a truck, but it's worry-free driving. I'm just concentrating on making money with Wave Express. I work for different company, but this is my family now. They know you by your first name. I highly recommend. All the information gonna be below this video, but first I'm gonna tell you my story, how I got into this. All right, so first of all, if you stay to the very end, I will tell you how to get $100 free of diesel fuel. So please listen to my story. It's not gonna take a long time, but you can probably hear in my accent that I'm originally not from United States of America. I came from Soviet Union a while ago, 91, so many years ago, right? And so today we obviously, you seen on the thumbnail, we're gonna be talking about my experience with diesel pickups. You probably seen on the thumbnail legendary 1997 Dodge Ram 5.9 liter. That's the truck that I started driving in. I purchased it used, and I had good experience with it, though as you see right now I'm driving something different. So I just wanted to mention we are not going nowhere, right? I usually do not drive with the camera like this, so when you drive you have to concentrate on driving, not on cameras. So I'm in a park mode here, sitting in my 2025 Chevrolet, right? It's rented truck from Enterprise that I said, and I tell you at the end couple of reasons why I ended up renting versus owning the truck. So my story goes that in 1991 I came from former Soviet Union. That time it was still communist country. It was a couple months before actually it became you know, Soviet Union became an obsolete country. But I came to United States and I kept a couple jobs, but I was never happy. I mean, I think you know, coming from communist country, I didn't want to get into another bondage. I mean, I didn't like much from 9 to 5, honestly. And I held couple jobs. You know, my English obviously was not that good, and I hope now it's good enough so you understand me and can go through my accent. But once I start to do research, I didn't drive at all in Soviet Union. Once I start to do research, I understood very quickly that driving probably gonna be on the top of my list. I like the freedom of driving, being my own boss, and I wanted to drive around the country. And at that time I found information about this business of moving RVs, moving brand new RVs manufactured in Indiana, and most RVs manufactured in Indiana, and delivering this RV to various dealerships around the country in Canada. So I found this job with a company. There was another company before I signed with, and I worked with them for quite a few years, right? So I started in 2005, a while ago, so I have pretty good experience. And at that time, we're talking about diesel pickups. you know, I didn't know much. I mean, in former Soviet Union, we had our own diesels, but I never seen American diesel. So diesel pickups, and pickups was very unique to America. I never, before I came here and I left 91, I haven't seen a single pickup except at American Embassy in Moscow. I seen SUVs and pickups, you know, but they were gas powered, not diesel. I don't think so, but most of them were Chevrolet actually in American Embassy. For some reason at that time, American government Marines, they use Chevrolet. That's what I seen at American Embassy when I came to apply to move to United States. So when I started this job delivering RVs, I talked to people, I done my homework, and I said, what is the most reliable truck you can buy that actually suited to move RVs? And quite a few people told me, buy Dodge Ram with Cummins engine, and buy not 4x4, buy 4x2, and get a 6-speed manual transmission. So I went to Texas. I could not afford the new one, but Capital One gave me a blank check up to $25,000. So I was doing my homework and I found this truck in Texas, in Austin, Texas, this maroon diesel pickup that you see on the thumbnail, right? It was only like 74,000 miles. What was kind of a steal for 17,000. It was 17,499 or 17,995. I forgot already, but it was under $18,000, and it has like you know, all the features that I was looking for. And then of course when I came to Indiana, I outfitted, I put a fifth wheel. It didn't have fifth wheel, and then I placed like special hitch on it, and I placed like mud flaps and things like that. So the company that you're gonna be working with, and I'm gonna be talking today about Wave Express, will tell you how to outfit your truck, and they will help you. They have local vendors here in Elkhart, Indiana and Goshen, Indiana, that help you to outfit your truck. Anyway, so this is a truck that I purchased. I already knew how to drive manual transmission because somebody taught me how to drive. Again, prior coming to United States, I had no experience of driving of anything. So then I driven a car obviously for 5 or 6 years, and then I jumped into this diesel truck, and it was very distinct experience. So I have to take it easy because it's a large vehicle, and especially if you pull in a trailer. So for the most part, I have small issues, but for the most part, I learned how to drive and done it quite successfully. I ended up putting like 500,000 miles. I went to another job, but I always come back to moving RVs. But today I wanted to talk about this competition, or perceived competition. I think it's real, you know, between Cummins guys, Powerstroke guys, and Duramax guys. So Chevrolet, GM, Dodge Ram, and then Ford. So since I got this Dodge Ram, and that was my first pickup truck, I was quite happy with it. You know, many of you that even don't drive Cummins and Dodge, they would reluctantly, maybe some of you guys admit that 5.9 liter, that's before DEF fluid, right? Diesel emission fluid, and before green initiative. That engine was one of the best small diesel engine ever made. And so yeah, that was my experience. After I put 500,000 miles on it, actually I returned the truck because for a few years I switched to something else. I didn't do RVs anymore, but I took that to Dodge Mazda dealership, former in Vancouver, Washington. That dealership doesn't exist no more. And at that time there was no smartphones, or they were just in the very beginning. So they used the digital camera. They came outside and start take picture of my odometer, and I think I had over 500,000 miles, and they asked me if I've done anything to engine, I mean any repairs to the engine, and I said no. I changed alternator, and I burned clutch because I was pulling heavily, under 26,000 pounds, but still, you know, pressure plate, all that good stuff, I replaced 2 times. I would usually replace my own fuel filter on a parking lot, and then I go to Walmart for oil change and tires. That's all. There's nothing else I've done to that truck, and I put 500,000 miles. Now, that's my first experience, my first love, Dodge Ram Cummins 5.9. Now I'm sitting now in a truck that's 30 years junior, right? I mean, technology moved forward amazingly, and at that time I had limited experience with Ford Powerstroke, and now of course driving Chevrolet, starting driving for Wave Express. I tell you my opinion about Ford and Chevrolet now. At that time when I was driving first time on my first stretch, I had a friend that when I would take Walmart to do maintenance on my truck, or you know, change alternator a couple of days, you know, in a shop, because they didn't have time to accommodate me, my friend gave me his Ford Powerstroke. It was dually, it was 1-ton truck, same as my because I had my Cummins was dually. And he said, I mean, just fill up the car, clean the car, wash the truck, and return back to me. Otherwise, he would not charge me anything. So, and it wasn't keen range, but it was leather seat. So first time when I got in Powerstroke, it was much roomier than my Dodge Ram, and it felt smooth, right? Now I have to admit, it used more diesel, and not by a lot, but enough for me to notice that I'm using more diesel for Powerstroke. But you know, I'm a slim guy. It was much more room in a cab, on a back seat, so I slept on a back seat, and it was much roomier. So I mean, I could almost stretch completely without even putting any mattress or anything. So Powerstroke was obviously roomier. Now the engine sounds a little different, right? And you know, you're driving Ford. It's a distinct experience. I know now when we're going into this technology, the difference, they are not so obvious as they used to be. Now you look at the truck and you have to take a second look. Of course, Chevrolet has 2 pairs of eyes, headlights, and a very distinctive look. They try to keep that signature look, and Ford has its own grille, and you can see now they have a big Ford logo sign, right, or decal, how you call it, and Dodge Ram doing their best to stay true to the Dodge Ram signature look, right? But I didn't drive Ford, going back to Powerstroke. I just took it for a few trips, so I didn't drive a long time to determine if the engine would have any issues and things like that. I think my friend didn't have much issue with it, but he had probably like 200,000 or 300,000 miles on it. So it's, at that time, any diesel engine, I think, would still go strong unless you abuse it. And so, you know, I have compared Samsung Ford with Cummins, and now, of course, I've been going on and off, but always returning to pulling RVs and to RV industry, because it pays good, right? It pays good. But now, you've seen it, I stepped into brand new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado HD with Allison transmission. Now, even at the time when I started, you know, same. Remember I said all drivers kind of agree that 5.9 Cummins was a great engine. And it was when all drivers that otherwise would poke joke at each other, right? And criticize and make fun of each other, right? You know, all the stickers. I would rather, you know, Cummins than Powerstroke, you know, something like this. You understand the kind of sense behind it. To me as a foreigner, and you know, I'm American citizen at this time, but that time, I don't know if I had a green card, but anyway, from a foreigner standpoint, it was like very unusual, to a certain extent ridiculous, but entertaining at the same time. You know, Chevrolet people peeing on Ford, and Ford peeing on Chevrolet, and Chevrolet people saying, I would rather push Chevy than drive Ford. And then they start to pee on a Ram head. And it's very sad. I think the Ram was very offended. So, getting into, you know, talking about Allison transmission, almost all guys were like agreeing that if it's automatic, Allison is the best thing. And some guys were saying like, too bad that nobody makes a small pickup, not larger trucks, because in big semis and motorhomes you can get combination of Cummins and Allison, but in pickup at that time you couldn't. I don't believe you can now. So they were like, Allison is the best, Cummins the best. But of course, Powerstroke people would strongly believe that Powerstroke is the best thing that ever invented too. And it's good to be patriotic in a certain sense. It's good to like what you drive. I don't see anything wrong with it. But again, coming from a country that didn't have this culture of diesel pickups, didn't have culture of any vehicles. I mean, very few people owned a vehicle in former Soviet Union. I was kind of entertained, right? Seeing all of this. But fast forward many years, now in 2025, you know, started driving for a Wave Express. Somebody said, Victor, you're very good with camera. Somebody from management, you done a few YouTube videos before, so I mean, can you share your experience? And I said, sure, I will share my experience with delivering RVs. So to conclude all of this, all competition, it's okay to compete, and it's very good, I guess, to be patriotic in many senses and be true to the brand that you're driving and believing that your brand is the best. But all of it, I see them right now, Cummins and Powerstroke and Duramax. This is just tools. Chevrolet, Dodge, or Ford, they're just tools that helping you to make money, and you have to be with the right company. And I believe, in my experience, because I had experience with companies before, Wave Express being not too large, not too small. They like have under 1,000 drivers. Everybody knows you by first name. I came, and it's like the second day they always tell me, Vic, good morning, how are you? They came to me to introduce themselves. I work for log book department, compliance department. I'm gonna be your your dispatch, you know. And so I'm vice president, I'm president, you know. So comparing to the company, larger company that I worked before, was like you were just like maybe a driver number, you know, even though people were friendly, but I mean many more drivers. But here they are kind of like a family. So I really enjoyed driving for them. This time though, going back to diesel pickup trucks, I didn't want to buy. You know, a long time ago, like I told you, I took my truck, Cummins, with 500,000 miles, because at that time, due to family situation, I could not continue driving and pulling RVs. But now I came back and I said, I'm not gonna buy a new truck. And if you have a diesel truck, good for you. If you can afford to make payments for a brand new truck, good for you guys. we're all different, and I already mentioned I'm kind of like, I worry if something gonna go terribly wrong with the truck. Not just flat a tire, but transmission gonna fail, engine gonna fail, gonna be some complex electronic issue that would take me thousand upon thousand to repair. I was lucky with Dodge Cummins. That was pre-sensor era, and that was pre-DEF era, right? The trucks were simple, all the vehicles had less electronics. And now with this enormous amount of electronics and green things in any truck, any brand, I don't want to buy a truck. So if you that type of guy, I already told you, I seen you, I showed you the sticker of Enterprise. So you can go to Wave, don't go to Enterprise. And they, here in Goshen, Indiana, Elkhart, Indiana, they will negotiate very special price for you if you want to rent truck. Sure, I'm not talking about rates. That's something you will find out when you call Wave. First of all, call Wave. All the information gonna be below this video, and information about company. You can call them, you can chat with them, you can send email. You know, it depends what way of communication you like, but they will help you to rent a truck if you're that type of person. Yes, you will sign the contract with Enterprise. It's gonna be you renting the truck because you're gonna be independent contractor. However, you know, they will negotiate a special rate for you. So when I came to Wave and I said that's what I want to do, they went to Enterprise and they found that's what they had available, Chevrolet. It's not that at this time, I think I'm wise enough not to concentrate so much, especially I'm not buying the truck. Now, if I were buying to buy truck, maybe it would be a different brand, who knows, maybe I would go with Powerstroke, maybe back to Cummins. You know, but they had Chevrolet, and they said, well, you drive 3/4, and I said, now they're stronger than ever, even 3/4. And you know, my Cummins was dually, but now 3/4, I will drive it. And so one thing I wanted to mention to you, if you guys not driving diesel pickup, or maybe if you used to drive, or maybe you're driving something else, and I just want to throw this at you and get your comments. And maybe you tell me in your comments what you driving and what diesel, gas mileage, but diesel miles you get from the truck. Now, going loaded, I usually go for a long run. I usually go to Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, 80 or 90. That's my favorite route. A lot of miles. The last trip to Portland, they pay me $1.70. I will show you here. So they pay me $1.70, 2,200 miles, and my total pay was $3,800. I don't know if you can see it. So going loaded, going back 17 years ago when I stopped driving my Dodge Ram, and now going to brand new Chevrolet, loaded to Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. You have to go through windy North Dakota, Wyoming, right, depending which route you take. 11 miles per gallon. This is what I get. Same, there's no difference. This truck is 30 years younger, no difference. Same mileage. However, bobtailing, Wave, by the way, has reloads, have bunch of reloads. They have a contract with major dealership around the country. But say my mentor told me, transportation mentor, he said, Victor, instead of waiting days after days after days for a load and losing time, and time the most perishable asset, just get back to Indiana and get more profitable load. You save time and you make more money. So bobtailing is an essential part of our work if we pull RVs. This truck surprised me because in my Dodge Cummins, average circumstances, average driving condition, I would get around 17, right? Now this truck gave me 19, almost 19, going back from Portland. And no wind, if you're thinking that I had tailwind, in Nebraska, actually, in Iowa, it was a heat wave, but there was like a very powerful side wind. So wind is not my ally, and I still ended up close to 19. So I was shocked. So I guess this is new engine. Now 6.6, that's what I'm driving. A Duramax 6.6, and of course Powerstroke has 6.7, and Cummins, guys, you tell me, the brand new one, they had a slight difference, but it's almost same size of engines, even though different technology, little different technology in three of those. So again, this is a tool. Use any tool that you have in your disposal. If you are a person that already have a truck, any diesel pickup from early 2000, call Wave Express under this video, and what's gonna happen, they're gonna tell you before you come, before you do anything else, just call them and they will verify that they will accept whatever you have. But from what I know, at the time of recording, June 2025, Wave Express would take early 2000 any diesel pickup. Now guys, I promised to tell you how to get $100 free of diesel fuel right here. So when you come to a Wave Express and you sign, you have to sign with them, not just call them. If you sign with Wave Express, just tell them that VIC sent you. When you send VIC sent you, then they will give you the card for diesel. Like $100, some people said it's not much, but still $100 would be a good help to start driving things like that. Now, before we go, I just mentioned that elevated fuel performance of truck like this, like Chevrolet. If you guys driving brand new or close, like 2024, we don't want to compare apple to oranges, right? So if you're driving new a truck, Cummins or Ford, tell me what you have bobtail in average. So is it around 19 or better or worse? Also, I wanted you to know that we have a deep discounts with Pilot, Flying J, Seb Brothers, another company. We actually get a 65, 60, 65, 70, 75 cents per gallon discount, and that make and break in our career. Because imagine this trip alone to Portland and back, I spent money, but I saved around $170 in fuel. So I even had a printout what I paid at the pump and what was retail price was. So this is going to Portland, $91, and then going back, you know, bobtail, and I spend more money. But so if I save money with a discount like this, diesel discount, so if I drive 100,000 miles, I put here, according to my calculation, I can save like $4,000. There is a lot of things you can do with $4,000. You can spend in your family, you can outfit your truck, you go for vacation, whatever. But we do have those Wave negotiated special discount with especially I go Pilot and Flying J. Those two of my favorites, and they everywhere across the country. You know, there is an ample parking and things like that. So take advantage of that. So that's my story. I started with Dodge Ram with 5.9 Cummins. Now I'm driving something completely different, but the bottom line is, it's just a tool. Yes, it's good to be patriotic, but that's a tool that helps you to make money. You can drive whatever you like as long as you're comfortable with it. Different people have different wishes. If you want to drive your own truck, if you don't want maintenance, then you know you can come to Wave, then I help you to rent a truck. You can drive any brand. Company gonna be happy when you happy. So be happy with whatever you drive, but remember, this is just a tool. Truck, diesel pickup is just a tool that help you to make money delivering brand new RVs and have reloads as well with Wave Express. If you tell them once again the last time that VIC sent you and you sign with the company, you're gonna have $100 fueling card. Now, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy my story. Please comment your questions or just any comment that you have. May the Lord bless you and keep you and protect you. If you're a driver or any other profession, may the Lord bring you back safely to your loved ones. And I hope that you subscribe to the channel, you share this video with somebody else. I have a lot of very short videos on YouTube, and every time I get a load or I bobtailing, you know, I'm sharing my experience with you. But again, Wave Express, have a privilege driving for them. It's my family. I highly encourage you to check out this company. This is not a scam. I'm a God-fearing and honest person, and I wish you much success and all the blessing your way. Bye.